What up, YouTube? You already know it's your favorite bean eating mofo, fresh off that banana boat. Big Lou with What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. We got a special guest today, friend of mine that I met recently in the YouTube prison genre, Harvey from Harvey Talks Prison. I don't know if you guys read in the description. I briefly told a little bit about his story. Went into the system as a teenager, did almost 3 decades behind the walls of Missouri Department of Corrections, and was released about 6 years ago. And here he is. So, yeah, everybody, I introduced. Here's Harvey here. He did me a favor and came on. We also go to his channel. Be sure to go to his channel, sub, like, and share his channel as well. And I'm going to give the normal spiel. If you're coming here for the first time, it'd be highly appreciated if you sub, like, and share this channel as well, and drop a comment, and I respond back to all the comments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Harvey, tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit how you grew up, as far as the dynamics of the family and where you like that.
Yeah, I grew up in a farming community in kind of south central Missouri. It's kind of tight-knit community. It's a tight-knit family. Everybody looked out for one another, So I was just a farm boy when I got arrested,
Right. Okay. I don't know how far you want to go as far as into the.
I'll answer any questions, whatever you want to ask.
Okay, because I know a little bit about what happened, but if you want to touch a little bit on what happened as when you caught this case that sent you away.
Yeah, he's actually a distant cousin of mine. I've been abusing my brother, treating him bad, and then I found out about it, and I told my parents, and they wouldn't do nothing about it, so I decided to take matters in my own hand, and I was just tired of all of it, and I didn't know what else to do either. So I went and shot the dude, and if you listen to the prosecutors, they said I stalked him and hunted him down and shot him. I mean, I just knew where he was at, and I went up to him, and started out just talking to him, I was just wanting him to stop, and
right,
and he just wants to taunt me and talk back to me and everything. So I fucking shot him. Excuse my language on here, but
right.
Anyway, they arrested me, and they charged me with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. I don't know if you guys have armed criminal action out there in California, but basically it's the same thing as the first charge. One says you killed a guy, another one says you killed him with a weapon. It's the same thing. And
right.
So I thought that was a double jeopardy, but I didn't know nothing about the law or anything, and
right.
Right. So I took my lawyer came to me and said they're offering you a plea for 25 years, and if I knew what I did now, I probably wouldn't have took the deal, but I accepted the deal. But then in the meantime, me and a couple others tried to escape. And so all that was off the table. And they didn't want the 25 years no more. So they told me to accept the deal. They'd get rid of the armed criminal action, and they would give me a second-degree murder. And that was the deal. If I didn't accept it, they was going to charge me to the fullest extent. And so I took it, I was a scared 17-year-old, I didn't know nothing about the law or anything, And
right.
When I got to prison, and all these old heads say, man, you should have said they's offering you these deals because they just wanting to hurry up and get a conviction, That was right. The only reason. And you should have never did that. And but what's done is done,
All right. And that goes to like what you said about, not knowing, even at 25 years old, coming to the system the first time, you still don't know the system, the as far as the legal system. You don't know if you're actually doing right on certain deals. And that goes to lack of competence. How would you say that? Lack of counsel. Because they're supposed to enlighten you on everything. And when they come at you with something like that real quick, then usually they're trying to just get it done and out the way because they're trying to get that statistic, that conviction towards their rate, the conviction rate. But a reason why I'm bringing that up is because I don't know if you're aware, but it's what's happened with Cain Velasquez, the ex-heavyweight champion of the UFC. But just Wednesday, he was granted bail, and he's been locked up for 8 months. Yeah, he'd been locked up for 8 months, and allegedly, he chased down a truck and allegedly shot into the truck because one of the occupants had did some harm to his 5-year-old son. And so right. So in both cases, yourself with your little brother and him with his kid, so many people will say they'll do that, but he did it as a grown man. You did it as a teenager. And that the love for your brother, for your family members, was that strong where you felt, hey, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so many people just talk about it and don't be about it. You know what I'm saying?
But don't get it wrong. I can't speak on Cain, but when I did it, I mean, it broke me. I mean, I fell to my knees. I mean, I was in tears because I knew this was all bad, and I didn't want to shoot anybody, but I felt I had to,
Right. And then, like you said, you confronted him, and he kind of was like yelling at you, talking down to you, like,
yeah, he's kind of
taunting you, yeah, and unfortunately it happened. But you know what? You lost a lot of years of your life, but sometimes you can look back at it and say, was it worth it? And sometimes people will say, yeah, it was, and others will say it wasn't. But that's that's only for you to decide how you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had people ask me that, and it's a really hard one to answer because they said, if you could do it over again, would you do it? I can't really answer that. I would like to say I could find a better way, but you just don't know,
Right. Okay, so how long were you in? So originally you get arrested at 17, right? At 17?
Yeah, 1987.
Okay, did you go to a juvenile facility first while you were fighting?
No, they put me in the county jail.
Okay, so legally in Missouri, 17 is the adult age, 17?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, or even if you're 15 in Missouri, sometimes they'll certify you.
If they try you as an adult, you go straight to prison.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cause we got that here too. Okay. Cool. Okay. We got that. Right.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll certify you.
Right. Yeah. So I've never actually seen it, but I did meet a couple of guys that did hit the system here in California. One was 16 and one actually they were both 16. But when I met them, they were one was about 20 and the other one was like 33 by that time. And actually, like I said, I never actually seen them at that age, but I have met them. But yeah, if you're tried as an adult, you're gonna go to the adult big house.
Right.
Yeah. So you at 17, when you hit the county jail facility, I mean, because you always hear this booty bandit stuff and stuff like that. They try to take advantage of different areas of the nation. There's a issue with that, right? I know because I heard you talk before, and I've heard you talk. I mentioned the old heads really took you under their wing, right? Which was a blessing,
Yeah, but in the county jail was real small. It's from a small town, so I didn't really have no problems in the county jail. I mean, it's just everybody just pretty much. I knew a lot of them too, but it was only when I got to the Missouri State Penitentiary that that the old heads took me under their wing, and they didn't do that until they seen that I was going to stand up for myself,
Right, exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing that people don't. Yeah, people are not into seeing bullies, but they want to see that you're going to stand up and speak for yourself and fight, even if you get whooped. Still, that you're going to stand up for yourself. Once you stand up for yourself, then they'll step in and intervene. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So, like, what about the way you were treated by the deputies or the correctional officers at the county facility? Did they?
I I was treated all right until I tried escaping, and then they pretty much didn't like me anymore.
So like here, if you do that here, like walk away, even if I walk away from like a work crew at the county jail, if you
Right.
even walk away from your work place of work, and then once you're apprehended, they put you in the hole, ADSEG. Is that what same way they did it there?
Yeah, they separated me from everybody else and put me back in this cell by myself for a while. It really wasn't ADSEG. It was just like an empty cell they had because, like I said, it was a small jail.
Right.
They
So
just stuck me back in the back for a while.
Yeah. So it probably was like a ISO cell, like an ISO cell, huh? Isolation cell.
Right.
Okay. So and that was do they use deputies there at the county facility, or is it correctional officers?
There's deputies,
Deputies.
jailers. We call them jailers. But,
Turnkeys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't correctional. I didn't see any correctional officers until I got to prison.
Right. The majority of the county jails here are ran by the deputies, the sheriff's department, but there is a couple that have they're actual correctional officers. So you got to actually look at their badge and see if it says corrections or if it says deputy. And then sometimes they'll have both. Sometimes the deputies will work the overtime shifts, and then you can tell that they're deputies also because they'll have the gun holster but no gun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, there's little things you pick up on over time. That you just pay attention to, like even like when they do the rounds every 30 minutes. So once you ask them what time it is, you start counting every 30 minutes, and they go around, and that's how you know what time it is. You know what I mean?
I used to when I was in the hole, and they'd come around, and I'd ask what time it is. There was a shadow being cast from sunshine in this little window, and so I take a pencil and mark where the shadow was at, and put the time, and then whenever. And then from there, I would know. Every time I'd ask them the time, I'd put a mark and put the time,
Right. Yeah. That's what you learn to do. We're creatures of habit. So we learn how to, get by with bare minimum. You know what I mean?
I learned if you're in the hole for a long time or you're in ADSEG for a long time, then that shadow, the time's going to change on that shadow after a while, Like if you're down there for a month, where you have it marked at 10 o'clock, it ain't going to be that a month from there,
Right. So how when you got arrested, how long did you stay in the county facility fighting the case before you took the deal or was convicted?
Probably almost a year, not quite a year.
Okay, that's pretty quick then, because a lot of times guys sit there for 2 years up until like 8 years, 5 years fighting
I've heard that. But see, in this small town, there wasn't much happening. You know what I mean? Just they're bringing drunks in, on the weekends.
Oh yeah. I didn't think, but that's a good point. Yeah,
there wasn't much
like
happening.
Right. It's not like where daily guys are coming in with 187s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I heard out there in California, man, like LA County, man, some of them people were waiting for a long, long time,
Yeah. Well, I don't know about LA County. I never been there, but obviously because the place being 4 million people, and all the drug gang banging and all that. But even the smaller counties like where I've been to, with only the main city has like 300,000. Stockton or Modesto has over 200,000. There's still quite a bit of guys coming in with attempted murders and murders. You know what I mean? Where they sit there for a long time,
right,
fighting it. But that's all on them. With the strategy with their attorneys and things like that. But because if you don't waive time on nothing, you'll be out of there fast. That's the case. You got that right to an attorney, a right to a trial, right to confront your accusers. But if you just go ahead and waive everything and say, no, I don't want to waive time, and say, you'll probably be done in a matter of 2 months, 3 months, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah. Your lawyer can extend it, prolong it,
Right. Right.
Drag it out,
Right. And then there's a lot of different ways you can change the strategies. Have a lawyer, and then you end up telling the judge, well, I don't feel he's right. And then you get another one. You need a little time to find a new attorney, and then you get that new attorney, you need to go back to the judge and ask for more time so he can get up to speed on the case. There's all kinds of different things you can say and do. You know what I mean? To expand on the time and that you stay fighting the case. So where Missouri has a reception center, or do they have multiple reception centers?
They used to only have
correction.
one. When I went, they only had one reception and diagnostic center, but now they got like I think 3 around the state. You know, and
right.
And you pretty well know what that is. You know, that's where they figure out where you're going to go and everything. You know. And,
yeah. So like here in California, so you said this was 87 when you caught this. In 1987, there was only 2 reception centers in California, one for Northern Cali, one for Southern Cali. Fast forward to like maybe 10 years ago, there was about 6 of them. You know what I mean? Now there's let's see, San Quentin, Delano. There's only 3 now. There's 3 now. So they shut down DBI, which was a reception center. It's completely closed. I heard that they just started moving people out of Susanville. That they're about to shut that one down, and then they already shut the fire camp down there. And then San Quentin is supposed to be next, and Soledad. So they got a lot of things in the works here in Cali, trying to supposedly save money. You know what I mean, with the governor and stuff.
Yeah, the last I heard, we had 3 reception centers. You know, in different parts of the state. But
in Missouri, if anybody don't know, it's in the Midwest. They got the big you got St. Louis, Missouri. You got Kansas City, Missouri. Those are the 2 biggest cities there, I believe.
Yeah, they are.
So So just real quick, anybody that don't know, when you go to a reception center, they do your points. They find out all your information as far as your family's, next of kin for that needs to be called for emergency. They do your dental, like a quick screening of your dental. If you have any mental health issues, what else they do? They have a criteria on how they do the points as far as 4 questions that pertain to your points. As far as here in Cali, Missouri might be a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same thing overall. Yeah. And then they classify you and figure out what level you are and what prison you go to. And it's pretty much the same pretty much everywhere in the United States.
Yeah, I don't know about
a little bit.
I don't know about the point system, but I do know they test you to see what level of education you're at. They do a mental thing on you. They put all this together and they figure out where they're going to send you, like how they're going to classify you and stuff,
So how do they do it there as far as so here in Cali you got level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then of course you got the SHU, which is the highest security level. How do they do it there in Missouri? I know Colorado has 5 levels.
Yeah, we got 5 levels here too. 5 being maximum security prisons. And usually they'll have supermax inside of these prisons. They'll have a section for supermax. They call it supermax. Like the Wohls, they had a supermax, and it was just an area inside the prison where they kept, people that caused a lot of trouble or something, And
right,
exactly. Right. But now,
so it's basically what we say. We call it a jail within a jail, or a prison within a prison, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Right. And then they built Potosi Correctional Center, and it's a punishment camp. When you go to Potosi, you've come from another camp for something you've done wrong, or you're on death row. And they and they don't have death row no more. They got these guys right out in population with everybody else.
Well, that's starting to happen here too now. Over the years, guys. The last time I was in San Quentin, I met 2 guys in passing that were. One had been down 34 years in death row. Another one had been down like almost 40, and somehow their cases got overturned to life in prison. And so they had to go through, after all those years of having wearing state blues and having your own TV in your cell and all that, they had to go through the reception center process now. So that had to be a little culture shock. And then you have a cellie now, in death row you don't have a cellie. So I'm pretty sure that they were probably happy either way to be out of there, somewhat being out of there, but then you get accustomed to things,
Right.
Did I know you said they abolished the condemned inmate section, but was it just one facility that they housed them at?
No, what it meant that they didn't do away with capital punishment. They did away with where they kept them at. Now they keep them in Potosi, but they're allowed out in population.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so that did start happening here too.
Yeah.
I heard that if you're on death row, if you're condemned, as long as you didn't exhaust all your appeals yet, they will send you to other prisons.
Right.
But if you exhausted all your appeals, then you just stay right there in San Quentin. Okay, so I got you. I got what you're saying now. Okay, cool.
They ain't got, like at the Wohls, they kept them all separate from everybody else. Now they let them out in population,
Right. Okay, cool. Okay, and I know, everybody sees the riots, the fist fights, the 2s on 2s, the 3s on 3s, weapons involved, different makeshift weapons. But what I want to ask more about, because I know how it is here, and it's a lot different. Here's like people consider it the mecca of prison politics, right? Gang life too. Chicago and California, right? How was it? Because really over there in Missouri, what do you have? You have whites, blacks, Native Americans, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, you got a few, but my last 10 years or so there started being Latinos coming in, more Latinos coming in,
Right.
But,
Yeah.
The politics ain't like in California. You know how I always hear about in California the yards are separated by race. That doesn't happen here in Missouri. Now the chow hall, you kind of sit with your own kind. But if you're out in the yard, it's not separate.
Right. So a white guy and a black guy can actually, if they want to eat together and make a spread, they can do that.
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So
but for some reason, I haven't figured it out. The chow hall, everybody sat with their own kind. I've never really figured that out. That's like the only place where it's
right. Yeah. So if that happens here, me and you kind of talked about this a little bit because we did a few videos on your channel, but you'll be, depending on who you are and what transpired, you'll get definitely a warning about doing that. And then if you continue to do that, then they'll end up putting hands on you and maybe worse. What I mean? It's really looked down upon doing that, and that doesn't go just white and black. That goes white and Northern Latino. What I mean? The only ones that are white, like for example, whites will eat with open food is paisas, Southern Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? Wow. So yeah, everything's by race here. I don't really dig it personally, but it is what it is. I didn't make the rules. I ain't gonna break them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I tell everybody. I said I didn't make the prison rules. I just try to follow them.
Yeah. Because right away they look at you like, oh man, and it's like you don't understand if you don't comply with what's already been set in stone. These rules been set in stone 50 years back already, if not longer, maybe a little bit longer, but 65 years maybe. But you will get dealt with, accordingly. And if you keep screwing up with the same thing, eventually they're going to get tired of you and consider you a so-called lost cause. You know what I mean?
Right.
What are some of the what's some of the worst things you've seen happen?
Oh man, I think they're all worse in their own way. It's just.
Yeah.
But I know when I first got there, I hadn't been there a month, and at the Wohls, it had to open the bars in front instead of like the modern prisons.
Real penitentiary. Yeah.
Yeah, and it had the tiers, had 4 tiers high, and it had these rails. And we was coming back one day, and this guy, young kid, he was about my age at the time, 19 or 20, I would say. He had tied a sheet around his neck. He tied it to another sheet. Then he tied it to that rail, and he jumped off. And so when we was coming back from chow, I seen him there, just kind of jerking and swinging. I thought, fuck. And the dude says, man, doesn't concern you, man. Let's keep walking, man. And then I hear other people saying, "The fucking hoe deserved what he got." You know, he deserved. You know, fuck that hoe. You know. So I didn't know what was going on, and come to find out, somebody had robbed him of his canteen, and he had told on him, and two of the guys had went back in his cell and raped him for telling on him, and then he did that. You know, and I was like,
wow. So what you said, things are all pretty worse in their own way. That's wow. That's definitely something. I seen a guy. I've been in the building where people done that, hung themselves. I didn't actually see it on a couple occasions, but we knew what happened because it was during after bar lock, which is after the 9 o'clock count, and they're about to go home, and they're off at 10. You know, usually they walk out a quarter till because the new shift comes on about 10, 15 minutes. So these guys, we heard them get on the radio calling the sergeant a code, whatever it was, and here they come running. And the guy, when they brought the guy out on the gurney, he still had the sheet wrapped around him. So we knew, we put 2 and 2 together. But I have seen a guy in county jail do that with the sheet and dive off the second tier. And we had to, they yelled for us to go lock it down immediately, and then they tended to him. I don't believe I believe he still lived. And then I seen another time where a guy, I was in AdSeg in the hole. Me and my cellie were going to showers, and I happened to just, something out the corner of my eye caught my attention, because you don't look in people's cells, right? But something caught my eye from the corner, and when I looked, the dude it looked like he had tied his neck, because it had a bunk with the like a rail over the bunk, and it looked like he tied his neck to one end and tied his feet to the other end and rolled off the side.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
That guy didn't die, but he was in bad shape because they were working on him right in the hallway right there after they put us back in the cell, and so we could see that. What about as far as yeah, go ahead.
I remember one time they popped the doors for chow breakfast, and we all came out, and it started, the line started, like people were stopping, but they's going, but it's like it slowed down, and I thought, damn, I wonder what's going on. Anyway, as I get up there was a guy laying there bleeding, and I said, fuck, I still hadn't been there very long, right? And dude behind me said, man, young blood, keep walking, man. This doesn't concern you, young blood, keep walking. And so I learned, if it wasn't my business, just keep going,
Right. So was that a black dude that told you that?
No, it was a white dude.
Oh, the whites even say young blood? They say stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up as a kid, you would see old movies from the 70s, and I'd hear older black dudes say that, and they would be the ones that say young blood.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, anybody that was older back then, they called all the younger people young bloods,
Right. Or so I used to hear young buck a lot. That's right. People need it. That's one thing. Like if it doesn't pertain to you or your group or your group segment, it's none of your business. Keep it moving, man. If you got to step over a body, step over and keep it going. Try to make it look less conspicuous as possible. And that's why I said step over the body, because if you go around the body, it might catch a CO's eye because you're coming out of line or something. It's just there's a lot of things.
I had no choice because the walk wasn't very wide, so I had to step over him. And I also learned that when you step over him, grab the rail, because that blood is slick. If you step in blood,
yeah. Just like that mace, that new mace they got. Well, I can't tell you how many COs I seen slip on their own fucking spray. You know what I mean? Right. they want to douse you down like you're a elephant at the zoo with a bunch of spray and then another can, and then the other COs are spraying you too. And then I've seen the hella COs just whoop, and
if it's on a slick floor, concrete floor, people are going down.
Right. Right. Yeah, I've seen that many times. It's what about the hygiene stuff, not as far as your body or personal hygiene, but using the toilets and spitting in the sink? Did they push? Do you guys do that like in Missouri where you don't spit in the sink, you spit in the toilet because
Yeah,
people wash their clothes in the sink?
yeah. When you brush your teeth and then you spit in the toilet, and
Right.
anytime you pissed in the toilet, you wiped it down. You know what I mean?
Right. So
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think you didn't get any on it or not. You wiped the motherfucker down, cleaned it. And
right. So I've been in a lot of sales and different facilities where like it was like a little dorm, maybe 8 bunks, 16 guys all together, where it was law that you had to sit down when you pissed.
I've heard that.
For one reason is like you said, man, when you piss, it doesn't matter. It's going to splash all the time. It's going to splash on the toilet seat. It's going to splash on the floor. And they only give us one roll of toilet paper a week. So, you got to keep in mind that toilet paper is your napkin. It's your, you have to use it to use the restroom.
They only give you guys one? Wow.
One per person. And a lot of times if you ask for a roll or you say you need paper, they'll just go like this and give you maybe 15, 20 squares, which it doesn't last that long.
No.
And then the porters in the building, if they get any extra, they'll sell it. You know what I mean? So if you don't have no money, they won't even you're just asked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen arguments over that. Porters trying to sell toilet paper, and then the other guys say, "Man, that's state shit, man. You can't sell that shit. Give me some toilet paper."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I've seen porters hoard the freaking disinfectant, and it's already watered down like crazy already, and they're gonna tell you, oh, you only can get 2 bottles, or and what it is you got to keep your own shampoo bottles or containers, and then whatever day they do the supplies, you put them outside your door when you come back from breakfast, and then they'll fill them up and slide them on your door if it fits. But yeah, I've put out before like maybe 6 bottles because I constantly mop my floor. You know what I mean? Every day, and they'll try to hoard it, man. Where no, you're not only 2 bottles, and it's their own rule. They're just trying to keep it to sell it, and along with the soap, along with the razors and the toilet paper. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And exactly how you said it, where guys will say that state stuff. That's the same way I've heard it all the time, numerous times, over and over again.
I've seen fights almost happen over.
No, I've seen real close. Yeah, I've seen. Trying to think. I think I have seen fights, but I have seen fights. And the same thing with like the sheets. They do laundry in the buildings, and then they'll have all the porters will work together. Where these guys will do. These guys will, when it's by races, the whites in this, because every race has a porter out there. And so the way they do it is you clean your own showers, we clean our own showers. But then when it comes time to sheets and all that, the porter's supposed to get the brand new sheets. And I've seen it where guys were trying to keep extra pairs for themselves or to sell, and these guys want to get in their issue, and it could be a mess. You know what I mean? Something else.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with all that.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the people that worked in the wing. They pretty much helped everybody. They would try to sell you some state stuff, but like if you was wanting to talk to one of them or give one of them a message or something to give to somebody else, and you said, "Come here," it wouldn't matter who they were. They'd come up there and see what you wanted. Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. When it comes to assisting you, it's not supposed to. Race ain't supposed to come into play. But I'll give you an example of, everybody knows that North and South is Northern Latinos, Southern Latinos are oppositions, enemies, right? But when you drive up to a shoot program or in the hole, and you don't have nobody of your, nobody from your group segment there, usually so say a northern cat drives up, a Northern Latino drives up there, and he has no people, no homeboys there. A Southern Latino will be the one to give him a care package. They'll give him the hygiene. They'll give him, and it's vice versa. I've seen it. I've heard it many times, and like I said, I've seen it. So it's if you say, hey, excuse me, neighbor, or whatever cell it is, hey, can you assist me? My fishing line's snagged on your door or underneath your door, they're supposed to just assist you no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's, you know, and then also too, like if you're being mistreated, as far as whatever it is, you know, everybody's supposed to come together because the cops, the COs are the enemies first, you know,
Right.
before you start feuding with different group segments. You know, that's what they say. It doesn't always work that way, but
I
that's
was
the way you're.
always told that if I needed to talk to a CO, make sure there's another convict there with me, you know?
Correct. Well, they call that a shadow, having a shadow. Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you could be telling them anything. You could be saying, "Hey,
Right.
cell, what, blah 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 has this. That cell over there got this. This one's gonna go stab that one. Whatever. You know what I mean?"
Well,
And
think of it this way. You and I are in a wing, pod, whatever you want to call it. And I go up and talk to a CO without somebody else being there to verify what I said. And 10 minutes later, your cell gets stripped down. You see what I'm
don't
saying?
look good.
Yeah,
Right.
don't look
The
good at
assumption.
all.
It's assumption. Yeah. Right. Right. And you know, and some group segments go further than that, where every request that you put in, you know, an institutional request, also
Right.
your mail, before you put it in the mailbox, you got to let somebody read it, proofread your
Right.
letters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, that's a little bit being
And
in
if
your
you send
business,
it back
but
to the caseworker, yeah, you always like to show it to a few people, you know.
right.
But you
So
don't say we usually didn't say, "Hey, I'm showing you this so you can verify what." Say, you just usually walked up, "Hey, read this. You think that's good?" You know, but really, what you want them to see what you wrote. You know what I mean?
right.
And
But it's always like, you know, say you're writing your woman, you know, and you get a little whatever in the letter, you know, and you here you go, read that.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
It's a lot of it's too much, man. It's just too much, man. You know, it should be, you know, by a certain period of time, you should be known by your people, especially if
right.
you've been down for a while. They shouldn't come at you like that. A lot of times, some guys will still get by and not, you know, they won't actually show the whole letter. They might just show a portion of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or they just might not do it at all and just say, "Hey, F it," you know what I mean? And nobody calls them on it, you know.
But
But
I can't really tell exactly when this happened. You know, you and I talked before about when you become established in the prison. You know,
right,
so, you know, you got to earn that. You know, and I can't really tell you exactly when that happened with me. You know, just one day, you know, I was respected as an old head. You know, and I don't know when that happened. You know,
right. So yeah, it's just, and that's part of it too. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know when it happened, but eventually you're getting that respect as an OG, and
right.
you know, you've been around. And I think that should be the way it is within your collective too, where you don't have to be showing them your letters, and you know, it's
Well,
just too much. It's too much intrusion, man. And plus, they want to know like intimate details as far as like who sends you your money and
right.
social security number, and it's like some of it's too much. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it got to where people was coming up to me showing me letters, and I said, "Man, you're good. You don't have to show me that shit." You know,
Right.
No, I just want you to read it. You know, all right.
Right. So does it break down like I think we kind of talked about this a little bit when you were talking about guys get the area code tattooed on them. Does it
Right.
break down like that for you guys as far as your counties, or do you?
Yeah,
What I'm
it's usually like they got certain white organizations, and they'll have their zip code tattooed on. You know,
right.
and some
But as far
even some blacks, and they Mindy's messing with me, but they
I figured
have
that.
the 417, you know, and they usually have
Yeah.
it tattooed across their stomach or their chest or something, you know, usually across the stomach. But it's usually people from Springfield, and you really you have to get that earned, you know. You
Right.
have to,
So same
you
thing.
have to-
Yeah, same thing here. Same thing here in California. You get certain numeral letters or numeral numbers. Numeral. How would I say that? Numeral letters, I guess. No, numeral numbers. You know, the Roman. You know, like the
Right.
X1. You got to
Right.
earn those, right? The Latin group, the two Latin groups. That's part of their identifying tattoos. But then some of the whites will put like the old ruins I don't know exactly what they're called, but the
I know
old
what you're
ruins where they look like stone. You know, where they're out somewhere, big old stone things. They'll
Yeah.
put Nordic sayings. They'll put German
Yeah.
sayings, stuff like that. You got
Yeah,
to earn all that stuff, right? You got to earn all that. You got to earn your area code. You got to earn
well, you know,
your county name on you, your city name. You got to earn all that. And I
well,
think it's by letter. It's not just you do something and you earn the whole tattoo. I think it's by letter. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You know, this one organization that I remember when it was formed, and I knew the people who founded it, and so I was pretty cool with a lot of them, and they kept coming up to me saying, "Damn, Harvey, you need to get that ink put on you." No, I don't want that ink put on me.
Yeah. You know what they'll say too? They'll say here in Cali, they'll tell you, you need to come on home. You need to
Right?
come on
Yeah.
home there. Yeah. Yeah, that means like join. They want you to join. Like,
Yeah, that's
nah.
what they're trying to do. They're trying to get me to join. You know, tell me to put that ink
Right.
on me, and like you said,
Right.
come on home, come on to the family, man. You know,
Right.
no,
Yeah, nah. I'm good.
Yeah,
Just yeah, so the way we kind of spoke about this before. So the way it goes as far as for the Southern Latinos and the whites is everybody come, they're from their counties. You'll have an overall guy that's running the show, like the key holder, what they call, but then you'll have somebody that's the key holder for the per county. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And usually when somebody needs to be dealt with, say they're from LA County, then the LA County boys will handle that. If you're Southern Latino or white, you handle your own. When it comes to northern Latinos, it's different. It's not like that. It's not about counties. There's not enough of them to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's things are handled differently. It's more of us guys that are already on the squad, maybe guys that own cleanup, and they'll be the ones that handle that, no matter where the people are from. As far as within Northern California, you know what I mean? So that's why I asked that, because, I know all the states are different, and but one thing is for sure, like you just said, you got to earn your ink. That's for
right.
sure. You know what I mean? And especially you start messing around with organizations, things are taken at a higher level.
Well, I told a few young people out here. They've talked about getting prison tattoos and stuff, right? I said, look,
yeah,
I don't care what you get, but I want to tell you something. Some ex-con gets out of prison and sees you with that tattoo and knows you haven't been to prison. He might take offense to it. You know what I mean?
He might. And definitely if you go in
Right.
as a first termer, you're gonna be put right on the front line.
Right.
And you won't, and they won't allow you to say, oh no, I don't want to do that, or I'll cover it up. No, that ain't the way it works. They'll cut it off you.
Exactly. I tried telling them, I said, out here, tattoos is not really a serious business. I said, but you get inside, I said, they take that tattoo serious, very serious,
Right. It's probably there's probably the only thing that's taken more seriously than that is having clean paperwork.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. If you got telling or you got one of those weirdo charges, that's the only thing that's taken more seriously than the ink, I would say. And it's probably not even too much different, because
Right.
it's false flagging, right? You're claiming something with the ink that you're not. So that's never a good thing, It's never a good thing.
I've seen it happen, and I don't even think the person that came in with it, I don't even think he knew what he had on him. You know what I mean? It was just something to him that looked cool, but the people in prison, what are you doing with this? And
right. Yeah, absolutely. So you kind of already went over when I asked you what was some of the worst thing you seen. You said that they're all pretty bad in their own rights. So you kind of you mentioned the guy getting his stuff taken, and the guys that he told on retaliated by taking his manhood, and then he tied himself up and jumped off, right? So we touched that. As far as what is some of the violent things, what are some of the worst things you've seen? Like for me, example, I had mentioned, I think it was on your channel where I seen this guy doing pull-ups, or he might have been doing chin-ups. And when he came down, they hit him and they got him in the eye, but it was more like here. and the piece was sticking out, and he was screaming, and you know what I mean. That was probably one of the worst ones I seen because it was real close by me. You know, it was within 10 feet. You know, it was probably more like 7, 8 feet.
The worst thing I seen, and is yeah, this is the worst. But the two I'm thinking about both have to do with weights. And this guy was doing benches, and hey, Chashanka, this guy was doing benches. And this is back when we had the free weights, you know. And this other guy came up, grabbed the bar, and just let it drop right on the guy's neck, you know.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, damn, man, dude should have had somebody with him, you know. Don't be doing that by yourself, you know.
Right. You got to have a spotter, yeah.
Right.
So since you brought that up, man, there was a guy that he was from Southern California. He was from the LA area. I don't remember what his neighborhood was. Oh, as a matter of fact, it was Florencia. And you'll see guys that'll have F13 tattooed on them. And he had a lot of family that lived in the town I lived in. And what happened was him, his mother, his other brother, they moved up north. He ends up getting violated, going to the Northern Reception Center, which was Vacaville at that time. He gets a job on the yard as a clerk with the weights. You know, they got a new weights. I don't know if it was a bench or a new bar, but his job was to put it out there and set it up. Well, he gets his wild idea one day because he felt like he was getting disrespected because he was the only guy from Southern California on that side of the reception center. So back then they used to call it either yard side or green side. I'm not sure what side he was on because this is way before my time. I was only probably like 4 or 5 years old tops at this time. And what happened was he gets his bright idea to go up to the third tier, light a red handkerchief on fire and drop it down. Right.
Wow.
So his color is blue. Right. Okay. So what ends up happening is he told me this to himself because it ends up happening that my cousin ended up getting with his sister later on in life. So he's telling me the story, and he says, I'd be damned. He said that same freaking bar that I went out there and set up ended up being the bar that they beat the shit out of me, and they cracked him over the head with it. And they cracked him over the head with it in his face. He would always wear shades like this, and he was blind. And what happened was one eyeball was like way up here, his eye socket and all that, and the other one was way down here because they beat this crap out of him. And they beat him so bad he ended up being blind. But he's passed since, and you know, it was just a trip how you know, he was brave for doing that what he did because, you know, but I don't know where he got that idea to do that. He should have known better. And during that time, it was really vicious still in the system. I mean, it's becoming vicious again here in Cali, where it's not so much slicing no more. It's literally poking and trying to kill people.
Yeah, it's the same.
And,
yeah,
you know, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that the guys that the big head honchos, the big fellas, they used to be in the shoe programs, and now they're not in the shoe programs no more. They won a case in the Supreme Court of California, and they found it inhumane to just keep them in there like that. And so they're all back on the regular main lines now. And I think what it has to do is a lot of the guys that are there are trying to show what they're about, you know, to hopefully maybe one day get recruited. You know what I mean? I think that's
in Missouri. It's according to a couple of my friends I've talked to, it's more that there's a different caliber of people coming in the prison. You know, different. They think different, and they, you know, before, yeah, it was violent and everything, especially like at the Wohls and stuff. But there was an order to it, and said now there's no order to it. You know, that people are just getting stabbed for no reason. You know, for little things. You know,
right. Well, there's been some incidences where guys like got cell phones taken. You know, they borrowed a cell phone from somebody and it got jacked up. They got jacked and it was taken. And there was a guy that lost his life for that. Another guy came on YouTube, was currently in prison, and started saying things. And then later, I guess he said he didn't know better, and they ended up killing him. You know, I don't see how you don't know better. Like,
right,
you know,
exactly.
I mean, yeah, I don't come on here and I don't say like you do the same thing. We've talked about it. We don't come on here talking organizations. You know, if you know, you know. You know, I'll just go to the extent of saying Southern Latinos, Northern Latinos. I don't get really into the names. I don't mention the organizations. You know, everything is on Google. You can find all that out for yourself. But I don't feel right. I don't feel right saying any of that. You know,
I I don't even feel right talking good about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, like with all organizations, they were developed and founded for a good purpose, but just like with everything else, they end up going to shits and they end up extorting and oppressing their own people. I don't care what organization you look at; it happens all the time.
Every time.
Right.
The one I was telling you about earlier that I have a lot of friends in. It started out to help people coming in, and now it's very violent.
Yeah. Even yesterday, I did a small little video because a couple of days before that, I was talking about the reception center and my little part 3 spill I was doing, and I forgot to mention how my program would be in the reception center. So I made me like a 7-8 minute video, but like I would just say like the person that has the tier, the person that's running the yard. I don't even get into the names of the positions.
Right.
I just don't feel right saying any of that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yep. So
don't blame you. And I'm the type I don't want to know.
Right. Likewise, Chepe, Sea-Dog.
Yeah, we got
show tonight, Big Lou and Harvey.
Texas Royal Flowers.
Yeah, we got TX. Yep, we got Tachanka. We got IP. I Talk Family Perez.
Yeah.
Adam Talks Prison. JM SJ. Tim Hennessy. Carlos.
I know we haven't been paying attention
Palmetto.
to the comments, but salute to all you guys talking. Hey, Michael. How you doing?
Michael Morehill. How you doing? He's out of New York. That's what I was telling too. I was talking to Sticks yesterday, and I was like, man, he was telling me about, with this YouTube, we're meeting we're meeting each other from different parts of the nation, United States, but then we're also meeting people like, Sea Dogs in Mexico,
right.
Adams in Australia. There's been people, Scotland, Ireland, England, New Zealand, Australia. It's cool, man. That's what's up. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, New York, Florida, Texas. It goes on and on. But I dig that.
Can I light one?
Huh?
Can I smoke?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
No doubt. Yeah. No. Same in Illinois. It's a different breed of people coming in now. But in Illinois, the guards run everything now. Yeah, that's the thing too. It used to be things were ran by the convicts. So when you would come into R&R, like I did a video on R&R, and I said that's receiving and releasing. For those that don't know, anytime you come into a prison in California or leave for whatever reason, if it's outside medical, if you're going home, anything, you got to go through R&R. And so I gave the rundown about how it goes as far as, and it's part of the reception center. So it's pretty much everything me and Harvey covered earlier, as far as, the screenings and all that stuff. But it wasn't the guards doing the fingerprinting, putting you in the housing units. It was the inmates used to do it. The convicts used to run the joints. They did everything. They
ran the doors and everything. Yeah.
Right. And now the administration got total control of everything, and it's just, it's a totally different world. Even though I didn't really get to see that part because I came in later.
Me too.
But yeah, you hear a lot about it. You know what I mean? Here in Cali, I want to say 87, 88. I want to say that the convicts were still running like R&R and stuff like that. But by the mid 90s, it was over with. You know what I mean?
I'd say by mid 90s, it was pretty much over with. And, they closed the Wohls in 2004. And so now all you got is nothing but these modern prisons pretty much. And they're different, They're just completely different. But I think, Tachanka was talking about Illinois. I think Missouri's kind of ran like that, as far as the way the convicts act and stuff, I think it's pretty much
right. Right. Okay, so fast forward, you do 29 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections, right? And the whole time the whole time you in there, you were cell living the whole time, or did you ever get down to the dorm level?
When they dropped my level, like when I got a date, they dropped me to a level 1, custody level 1, and I went to Algoa. And it had these little dorms. It held like 14 people in them, I did not like it. I did not like it at all.
Right. Was it like a cubicle?
Yeah, it's like a big cubicle, it's like a big room. Okay. And it had 7 bunk beds in it, you know?
Right. Okay, yeah. We have a couple pins like that here. Actually 3. Avenal, the whole thing's like that. 6 yards, and then Solano, yard 3 and yard 4 is just like that, same thing. And then Chuckawalla, which they call Chucky's house, which is down in the desert. It's designed the same way, where there's cubicles. It's like where the cells would be at. They're open dorms, of like between 5. I think it's 5 beds in there, and then you figure double, so it's like 10 guys to a cubicle. Okay, yeah. So after you got the date, you were found suitable by the parole board, then your points drop. Yeah, that's the same type of thing that's happened here. Okay,
but I wanted to go back. You know, when I got there, I wasn't there a month, and I wanted to go back to Max, where I had a cell, and people acted different there. You know,
right.
Than the lower
yeah,
level.
Me personally, in prison, I'd rather be in a cell. I only have to deal with my cellies. His mentality. I don't have to deal with 15 guys in my area of a dorm. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then sometimes, though, don't get me wrong, sometimes some dorms are rocking where you got a lot going on, tattooing, and somebody might have a phone, tobacco. I don't smoke, but I've been involved where I got my little hands on it and, made a little money out of it. But
these guys cried about everything down there. You know, they couldn't understand why I walked to the shower with my boots on, you know. I said, what? You guys.
Right. Yeah. As soon as I get out that shower, I dry up, put my boxers on, and my shoes go right on right after that.
Right.
Yeah, there ain't no way in hell I'm walking from my bunk to the shower or from the shower to my bunk in my shower shoes. I will say this, though. The last time I was in San Quentin, they wouldn't allow us. It was their own rules, the COs, that you had to go to the shower in your shower shoes. This is only reception, so you're only walking with like maybe 5 houses, 8 houses. You know what I mean? And majority of them are your own people. But yeah, it was a little different there. And then when I would come out the shower, I wouldn't even I would just, my boxers would be soaking wet, dripping, and I just walk back like that. But that was the only time, and that was because they enforced that. Because if they didn't, I wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. You know that. Yeah. These guys, if they saw you in boxers, they got paranoid. You know.
Yeah.
So, I said, damn, dude.
Tashanka said, defense is a lot harder in the dorm. Yeah, it is. Luckily for me, the last time I was in a dorm was I had the corner shot bunk. So, and I had a window right there, so I could see the yard. I could see what was happening. If something happened in another building, I could see who they brought out, and I could determine who was involved. And then again, like I said, I was in the corner, so I had nobody on the other if I'm laying down in my bunk like this, to my left, it was just a wall. So I was protected that way. Nobody could sneak up behind me. But I would always prefer to be in a cell. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never been level 1. I've been once level 2, and then most of the time I'm level 3 or I was level 4 once, and then all the other times level 3. So that's cell living, except for they did put me in a gym one time. That was another question I was going to ask you. How's the gyms in your prisons? Do they use them as housing units, or?
They did at one time. They see what happened was Mindy said they did do in the females, but in the 1990s, I can't remember what year, but they said people could volunteer to go to Texas, and so a bunch of them did, and they got beat up by the guards, and dogs sicked on them and stuff, and so they sent them all back. So they put them in the gym for a while, until they was told you got to get them out of the gym, but that was only for maybe 3 or 4 months,
Yeah. So here in Cali, man, they used the gyms for freaking years. Not until the judges finally, because the judges were ordering Schwarzenegger to release people back when he was the governor here, but he refused because he was looking at it like it was gonna, bite him in the arse because his political career. He didn't want people to, him to release people and then they reoffend or something, do something maybe more heinous than they were originally in prison for. So he didn't do it, and then he was in contempt for a while. Then he went out, and then Brown came in, and then Brown started releasing people. And part of it was closing down the gyms, getting those people out of there, and also the emergency bunks. They started putting bunks in the day rooms. And I was on one of those temporarily, man. I didn't like that shit at all. I was like freaked out. I mean, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It was
Right.
I didn't like it because I felt like I was a sitting duck because
Right. Exactly.
yeah, a lot of guys in the cells behind you. Sometimes I've seen them come out, and run on, jump on people. If they don't want to be there, they're gonna pick the first person that they feel like they can get. And I didn't like it. So that's why the importance of your awareness, making sure you're secure, your person, your person and your group segment as a collective. But yeah, I didn't dig that. And then eventually we ended up getting off on the yard, and then we got put in the gym,
It was.
which I didn't like that either.
It was very stressful for me being in a low level. You think it wouldn't be, but being in a low level was very stressful for me, especially because, like you said, the dorm thing, and you're surrounded on all sides by people. I did not like it at all.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't dig it at all. I didn't dig it. What's up, Wesley? Marky
Hey,
Mark.
Wesley.
Yeah, I didn't dig it, but I knew that it was only. I knew that certain situations. All of the situations, they vary. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you're going home. You just got to do the best of your ability to secure yourself and handle it that way.
And another thing,
for yourself.
Another thing, I felt naked because I didn't have my piece with me. When
Right.
I decided when I went to a lower level camp that I wouldn't need it, but when I got down there, I kept feeling for it and looking around for it. I kept feeling like I needed one.
Right. Yeah. So I the one time that I was, let me see. Wait a minute. The first time I was level 2, I get to the yard, my peoples come, I holler at my peoples, and one of the homies that was from my area, right away he says, "Here," he gives this to me, and it was just a tomahawk, but it'll do damage. You know what I mean? It'll rip some shit up and leave you with an ugly scar. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a funny feeling. A lot of people don't know what that feels like. They don't know what it means to be packing. You know what I mean?
Marky Mark's right.
What do you say? Level 2?
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Right.
One down farther from that. Yeah.
Right.
But he's
Stay ready.
right.
You don't got to get right. Yeah, and that's that all. When I say having your awareness up to par, that's what that falls right in there. You know what I mean? You got to know what's going on at all times. You got to make sure that 5:45, 6 o'clock tops, you're up.
Right.
Booted, suited, mattress rolled up, shoes on, or your boots, however you're gonna do it, and make sure you're secure. Wear your pants or shorts, whatever, but just make sure you're awake, aware, and know what's going on around you.
I could not
That's
believe
very important.
I could not believe these guys in that level 1 running around in their shower shoes. I told them, I said, man, you don't want to do that. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
We ain't in a level 5 no more. I said, I don't care. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. People don't realize, like, you're level 1, you're level 2. There's no towers, right? So if something kicks off and gets ugly, you're going to be going at it for a while because they got to get back up from the main prison to come, or or the other yards, and it can get ugly, man. I heard of when I was bringing up when I became a level 2 that one time. I ended up leaving that pen to go somewhere else, and I got a letter from a homeboy that was there, and he said, "Man, you just missed it." He said, "Man, about 3 weeks after you left, it might have been maybe a month." He said a huge riot happened, about 50 people melee. You know what I mean? And he said they were hitting each other with the broomsticks and and baseball bats and whatever they can get their hands on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was it can get ugly. Yeah, there's not no cutting devices, but not so much, you know what I mean? But you take a beating, you fall down, and they just continue to stomp on you. You can end up worse off than a couple of poke holes. You know what I mean?
Well, when I got there was a lot of people from my hometown, from my area there, and I told them, I said, I feel naked, and they said, "Man, we got your back." And I said, whether you do or don't, I still feel naked, without my piece,
Yeah. I feel naked.
Yeah.
So how long were you there at that facility?
I was
You
there.
ended up going home. You went home from there, right?
No, they sent me to another one that was just like it, and I spent the last 5 months there, 16 months in the level 1s, and then I went home,
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining Searching for Answers in West Virginia.
Hey, Wanda, how you doing?
Yeah, she had left a message one of the comment sections, and I said, I wouldn't mind, if she's up to it one day, bring her on too and tell her story,
Oh
with her
yeah,
son
I
and things.
told her the same thing, man. She's got a story that has to get out there.
Right, exactly. That's why I know the platform's small, but hopefully, we can bring awareness to it and share it with some other channels and things like that, because that type of thing, I'm not really sure what happened, but it happens a lot. I know, just the fact of losing a child, a son, or a sibling, in the system, in the county facility or in the prison system, it happens. People don't know about it, and stories need to get out there.
That's
no
right.
doubt.
Well, I'm gonna have to get off here in a minute. If you want to do another one, we can.
We can. Because I didn't get to the end of your time, and then also transitioning back. Because 30 years, man, 29 years, that's a long time where, it probably felt like you were dropped off in outer space, maybe, when it comes to a lot of things.
It was like going to a foreign country,
Yeah. So, we could do part 2. We'll figure out a date to drop part 2. And then I want to maybe a few more things about Behind the Walls. And then definitely that. It'll probably be a lot shorter than this one.
The Walls. But the Walls is the most interesting out of all of them because
right, exactly. That's what I want to talk about, the Walls, because that's a historic place. It's shut down now. It's kind of like Alcatraz. It has that. It's got that. That ore to it, like Rollway. What's that other one in Massachusetts? Wall something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an old joint in Massachusetts. You hear a lot of wall horror, I think it's called. You hear a lot of stories about it, like different things. I don't want to even say it here because I'll be taking it away from the part 2. But when we talk about the Walls, I appreciate you coming on. We did a good hour
Thanks
plus.
For
appreciate it. Yep. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk with you. I want to do something with Adam too. He's from Australia. I want to start hitting different things, getting different perspectives and aspects from different countries and different states. You know what I mean?
It's been interesting comparing the California and Missouri thing. That was very interesting to me.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't already, anybody here, me and go to Harvey's channel, give him a sub if you haven't already. Check him out, like and share his channel, leave comments. He responds back also, and then check out. We did 4 videos over there, where he's asking me some things, and I'm telling him about Cali. But definitely. So I appreciate you. I'll probably stay on. So people, if you want to stay on with me for a little bit, I'll stay on. Again, thanks, Harvey, for tapping in.
Yeah, and, thanks for having me.
I'll tap in with you and figure out when we'll bring you back on sometime next week or something.
Sounds good.
All right, Harvey, thanks. Enjoy your meal. Enjoy the rest of your evening, you and the fam.
Salute.
Yep, likewise. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I appreciate everybody that came by here too and joined in. I wasn't expecting that we were going to get an hour plus. I figured maybe 35, 45 minutes. I thought. He gave me an hour and 5 minutes. I think we, hit some things pretty good. If anybody on the second part, if you guys got any questions or anything, put it in the comment section or maybe even put them here if you want. Harvey's an awesome guy. Yeah, he is. That's why he was the first one I brought on. I really can't tell you what it is about him, as far as other than he just stand up straight up. He's not one of those guys that gets all animated when he's telling the story. If you watch any of his videos, he keeps them pretty short, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. He gets to the point. He don't sugarcoat nothing. But the fact that he don't try to get all animated and yell and, I guess that's what it is. I really can't put my hand on it exactly. Damn, just caught you, Lou. I missed out. Yeah, so this guy right here, Jedi Mind Trick, he also did about almost the same thing what Harvey did. Actually, it might be the same. Harvey did 29. I think Jedi Mind Trick did 27 or 28 years. And just like Harvey, he went in as a juvenile too. I think he was 16 though. Harvey was 17. And then he was released a couple years back. So I want to bring him on too at some point. I'm going to tap in with him and see when he got some time, if he can come on. and then again we'll do a couple parts. You know, because it's an hour's not enough time to tell somebody's story. You know what I mean? Definitely not. He's always so calm. He's always so calm and mellow tone when speaking. Exactly. That's what I dig about him. I've said this before. His channel is my favorite prison channel. Harvey has had my back from day one. I love and respect. Yeah, he sure has. Replay gang. New age plug. What's up, home? Big Lou, you helped him express his story with your conversation. Yeah, exactly. It's. I think sometimes it's too plain when you just ask somebody a question. You know, when you interact with them, like that's why a lot of times when I have a topic and I bring people on instead of just being by myself, you're able to bounce off each other. You're able to have different perspectives sometimes, or just have an adult conversation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when you conversate with somebody more than it being a Q&A type deal, it just works out a lot better, and it's the end result, the end product, the end results is a lot better. You know what I mean? That's for sure thing there. Love and respect to everybody here. I wish you all good health and success. All God bless. Yeah, likewise, Tashanka. Thank you for showing up too. Appreciate it. Much love. I got to get over there and check out some of your videos as well. Uh-oh. The man from upstate New York. Bindu and Vito the Pitbull. What up, big guy? Carnalote. um, I dropped the Bindu. I dropped the video on the Blood and Blood Out. About the movie, and then also I put in the thumbnail on the short with my cousin with the cast when he was in San Quentin, and then another movie, The Principal. I got another cousin that was in that movie, and I put his picture in the short with Jim Belushi, and then I did a little video talking about The Principal, and some other videos, a lot of boxing videos I've done lately, and I did a Cain Velasquez video. Free Cain. Cain Velasquez finally came out on that charge he caught back in February, and he's released now, and he can fight his case from the streets, which is a lot better look than being behind bars. I talked to Harvey off of Facebook, and he's the same off YouTube as yeah, exactly. That's what the big thing is. So many people come on here and you know, attack people and talk shit, and you know, that's the thing. I'm the same person I am on here as I am in person. And there's somebody in the chat that can verify that. He verified it last time he came on my live, which was I think day was at Monday. I believe that was Monday. Yeah, I believe that's, you know, some people will say, oh, when I shut down the phone or I shut down the laptop or the computer, you know, I go back to reality. Well, yeah, you're right somewhat there, but your character shouldn't change. You should be the same person you are on as you are off. And if you're not, it's just a form of not being genuine. You know what I'm saying? Um, Real talk, fam. Hit that like button like a green lighted. uh, Big Lou, Big Lou, you can get up with Harvey to get my contact info, and I have an email in my about. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, because I want to do something with Adam, talk about Australia, and then get your story out there with your son, and then also actually I want to do something with Sea Dog again. We had Sea Dog on the no-fly zone, but I want to bring him on here. And then also Jedi Mind Trick. Jedi Mind Trick was the very first person I got at about coming on one day if I ever had a YouTube channel, which is this now. This is about 4 years ago when I asked him. And of course he said yes. So I'm looking to work with some collabing with other people and other channels, other people, and getting people's stories out there, man. You know what I mean? That's the good thing about being real. You don't have to worry about which mask is on. Yeah, and you don't confuse yourself, right? Trying to keep up with the lies. Yeah, no doubt. Big Lou, you are easy on the ears like loud characters. Yeah, I try to be. Big Lou, you always did the right thing, Carnalita. Yeah, I try to, man. It just doesn't, it's not self-serving to come on here and bullshit and be a liar. And like Tashanka said, you don't have to worry about having the right mask on because you're telling lies. You know, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me, let me put this hat on now or mask or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I told Harvey I'll go on his channel also. I just suffered with anxiety so bad, and talking about my son's story is still very hard. Yeah, I understand. I get that. I totally understand. If you don't mind me asking, how long has it been since since that happened? Sea Dog has got a good show. I feel happy and positive every time yeah, Sea Dog. I go back with me and Sea Dog go back before we even had shows. We would pop on a couple different channels on the panel, and then I think I want to say Sea Dog. I don't know if it was Sea Dog or Dankin and Drankin who started the show first, but it was around that same time. The same thing with Dankin and Drankin. They started off on going on other shows too. But I had the idea to do a YouTube channel a long time ago, but I just didn't want to talk about certain things. You know, I'm against talking about, like I had mentioned earlier, organizations and the actual organization names and active people. I don't do that. But if it's something from like 20 years back, 30 years back, you know, and they're no longer alive, you know, that's a little different. You know what I mean? When a real man, when you're a real man, you don't have to be anything but who you are. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I tell people all the time, be yourself, and people will like you and respect you a lot more. Yeah, exactly. But you're always gonna have the trolls, though. You're always gonna have the haters that are gonna come in there and say something. Um, that's it's just, and it doesn't matter what genre you're involved with or what genre your channel's linked with. You know, I don't really have a genre. I'm all over the place. I talk sports. You know, I talk mob stuff. I talk prison stories. You know, interview other people. Um, it just depends how I feel that day, to be honest. You know, um, so I got some things I'm doing. Not only reaching out to other channels and networking. I already changed my. If you don't know, for the longest I didn't. I was doing lives all the time because I only learned. I only knew how to put a thumbnail with a live show. Now I finally figured out how to do it, putting a thumbnail for with a pre-recorded video, thanks to Sandman from Paradigm Media. Um, he helped me out with that. And then shout out to Sticks from Stay Awake TV. He turned me on to some apps. And so instead of me doing things like I've been doing with, you know, holding one phone up and recording to another phone, uh, he helped me out with some apps where I can actually you can record off anything. You can record off Facebook, Instagram, anything you want to record to drop in your as a short or as a video, like kind of like a reaction video too. He hooked me up with some apps for that, and then I just got it yesterday. I downloaded it yesterday. I haven't started to play with it yet. I have to figure out how to use it. On top of that, I got at somebody from another channel yesterday that they on his Instagram, he had put a picture. It's a picture of me, him, and Big Weavy. It's Frank from Frank's Vibes, and it's like an animation. And I was like, damn, that thing came out clean. And then I reached out to him, and he said he did it. So hopefully, I'm working on getting the intro for the channel, intro, outro, and then I'm hoping to get some new avatars because, like I said, I'm all over the place. I'm not just one genre. So I'm going to give me a sports avatar, with the channel's name on it, some type of sports theme, another one prison theme. That way I can use each one when I'm doing videos on whatever genre I'm doing it on or topic. I can switch my avatar when I want to turn the camera off. Uh, Also working with somebody on banners, so I can put a banner on my homepage. You know, just everything you can to bring your channel up to par. You know, to be more as professional as possible. Um, and I'm looking to do all that. I'm in it for the long haul. As you guys can see, I've been doing my thing. I've been putting out videos, shorts, pre-records, and lives. Um, I got more videos than I got subs. You know what I mean? But that's all right. I mean, hey, everybody don't just go from, from 0 subs to say 2,000 subs in a month or two. You know, usually even like Jay Williams at Let's Live Life, he has like almost 300,000 subs, and he said it took him about a year and a half to get monetized. You know, so not only you got to get 1,000 subscribers, you have to have 4,000 watch hours, not 4,000 views, 4,000 watch hours. So I just recently learned that uh, I thought I was well over when it says 45,000 views. That has nothing to do with watch hours. So you still have to get 4,000 watch hours. And then I started looking at the analytics. You got to study a lot of things because you start learning that when you put your shorts in there, usually when my shorts, the ones that I get more views and a lot more views than others, it's usually people run into it like between 85 and 95% of the time through the feed, and then maybe 5 to 7% might be search, YouTube, Google search or YouTube search. I'm not sure with the so basically like a hashtag. If it's something with I don't know, Michael Jordan, right? You hashtag MJ or Michael Jordan or Air Jordan. So then when people Google Michael Jordan, your videos, all the videos that have him hashtagged in it not necessarily won't pop up to the front, but if they scroll through something, they'll find it. And it's important to put decent thumbnails that catches people's eyes, and then hashtagging things. Don't clickbait, because if you start clickbaiting, one time somebody told me, he said he does, when he drops videos, that he'll put whatever's trending, he'll put that and hashtag it, and the example he gave me that day was when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and he hashtagged that Will Smith slaps Chris Rock in his video, and he didn't even say nothing about that in there. So that's clickbaiting. You don't want to do that, because then you'll get the reputation of being a jive ass turkey. You know what I mean? And I am definitely not a jive ass turkey. You know what I mean? I keep it real. I don't bull jive. I don't embellish stuff. I don't do that. So have a good thumbnail, and then also good hashtagging, and then try to bring the best content you can, and then on top of all that, the rest of the stuff. Intros, outros, the backdrops, the thumbnails. What else? All that stuff. You know what I mean? Being more professional, when like I was doing, holding the camera, that's ghetto, right? But some people don't mind it, because there's a couple videos that I did get a couple thousand hits on them, a couple thousand views, but ultimately that's not how I want to continue. It took me 3 months to get monetized. Big Lou, that's how you get the subs, more videos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the more videos you keep putting out, eventually, they'll put you in the feed, YouTube. And then too, what it is like, say certain people watch certain channels, and then people watch your channel too, or other people watch you. It becomes a pattern there in the algorithm. Well, oh, these viewers also watch this channel. You know what I mean? And that's how I got a lot of channels, and as far as a lot of other people as well. I took me 3 months. Yeah, I think you're talking about getting monetized. Pastor Tony was out there street preaching, and some dude said some terrible stuff to him. Always going to be hating and being a troll. It's a reflection. Pastor Tony? I don't know who Pastor Tony is. I miss Jamie Rupert. I didn't see you there, lady. Hope you're having it. Yeah, she just came in maybe 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna try to do my own videos also, but right now I just started school and should be starting work any day. Okay. Let's see. So it's gonna be hard to fit making videos in my schedule right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of people, yeah, that's shout out to Anthony Magnolo. Magnolo shot me my first Cash App the other day. And shout out to him. I went and got me a coffee with it and some little cream puff croissants. But anyways, yeah, it's like you figure you got to take the time to do the video, right? Then you got to wait for it to upload, and then do whatever else you need to do to it. You got to come back around and put the thumbnail to it. Even the lives, you got to type in the names. You got to type the names to the videos. You got to hashtag whatever. Then in the description of the lives, depending on how much you write to describe what's going on in the video or what's going to go on in the video, all that takes time. You know what I mean? All that takes time. Shanka, it's been so good. It's been good so far. I'm ready to settle in for the night. Yeah, good night, huh? Troll alert. David Rocha. Yeah, David Rocha is from my town. We're from the same town. I know his brother Angel. I used to go to school with his brother Angel, his brother Felipe. used to work with, I think it's Felipe. He has a couple older brothers. But Felipe worked with one of my cousins at the Cox Brothers tire shop where they did brakes and front end work and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about. Yeah, some dude went up to him and said, fuck God or some terrible stuff. And he said, it's Norte on mine or something. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't knock Rocha. He does his thing as a pastor. Tip my hat to him. You know, I don't. I just leave it at that. I just leave it at that. He's, like I said, he's from my town. The same town he claims is the same town I claim. I'm from this town. Everybody knows me. Just a few things he said that wasn't true. But not a bad guy. I'm not saying anything like that. And now he's on a different path in his life. So I respect that. You know what I mean? Going to get on this plumbing, y'all. Many blessings to all of you. Stay healthy, strong. Yep. Likewise, Tashaka, thanks for stopping by, bro. I had more time until my boyfriend's boss passed unexpectedly a couple of weeks ago, so everything's been put on me. Yup. The workload's been passed on to you, huh? Yeah. So, so this turned out to be a good one. You know what I'm saying? We still got 12 people in the chat. I mean, most people, that's not a lot, but to me, that's a lot because, I don't have a lot of subs. I got 300, a little over 300. Sometimes I get up to 20 in the lives. But as soon as people come and watch it after it's uploaded, you know what I mean? Not a lot, but I'm saying, excuse me, 100, anywhere from 180, anywhere from 80 to 300, which that's pretty good. I think if I'm getting 350 views and I only got 300 subs, that's pretty good because we all know that everybody doesn't, all the subs don't watch, They might see a short or they might see a short video you put out that's put in their feed and they might watch, 30% of it and then they sub, you know what I mean? But then they don't come back around. Maybe they just sub and they don't hit the notification. I try to, every channel that I hit the notification, I try to, I do. I hit the notification bell for all right then and there. Same thing like when somebody's doing the live, I go right and hit like. I don't care what they're talking about. If it's somebody that I support that's within my squad, my circle, and I hit the like. It just sometimes it gets overwhelming because a lot of people come on around the same time, and sometimes you get once you get home and wind down, a lot of people are making shows, so definitely shout out. Hey, what's up, Big Wedo Duran? Shouts out to Doing Time with Big Weeby, Stay Awake TV Sticks, Vegas Prison Stories, Rick, Harvey Talks Prison, Adam Talks Prison, Sea Dog and Cooper Show podcast, excuse me, Frank's Vibes, Bigfoot, New Age Plug, Gangish, Converse Perspective, No Fly Zone Ricans, no doubt. Also, if you guys haven't already, go sub to the No Fly Zone Ricans. That's our main show, our mother show. It's me, Carlos, who was here in the chat, and Nelson. We've done many videos over there. We're on a break right now because Nelson's got a lot going on. And so we don't know exactly when we're going to come back on with a new show, but there's plenty of shows there. We kind of give that East Coast, because they're both from New York, and I'm from California, Northern Cal. So we give that East Coast, West Coast perspective on things as far as, fashion, the way we dressed back in the day, music, movies, TV shows, wrestling, sports. We've had some guests on over there. Sea Dog came on over there. We had Gunner from Gunner's Collective on over there, and a couple other guests. We had a guest out of Chicago who had ties with the outfit. And I was hoping to bring him on here last week, but he said we'll talk about it. So we'll see what happens. I have a playlist for every YouTuber I interact with so I can save their videos and go back and watch. That's what's up. That's cool. I sub to so many people now and I can't watch them all. I'm trying, then I feel bad when yeah, exactly. And then that's where, you come in and say, hey, I'm commenting for the algorithm because it's just so many. And I'm guilty of that too. And so I had to go back and unsub to a lot of channels because, for one, I don't really. Some of the channels, they're just not for the small people. You know, they don't want to help out, and they don't have to. But it's just, to me, it's just strange that somebody won't be willing to help somebody out when they were there at one point. You know, um, yeah, I just don't get it. But a lot of the stuff is just repetitive. A lot of the channels are the same genre, and they keep saying the same stuff. You know, and I don't want to hear the same things over and over again. You know what I mean? You getting you getting the Big Lou? You getting the Big Lou? Searching. That's probably what I should do. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. But I had like 4 or 5 different pro wrestling channels. I had probably 4 or 5, no more than that, probably 10 wrestling channels, probably 10 boxing channels, a couple of wildlife because I like the African wildlife. I had a lot of channels like that. I had about probably 10 different low riding channels. Um, and then the prison genre, probably a good another. Oh man, I don't know. There's so many, right? You got Common Perspective, the Rojo Room, Gunners Collective, Gunners Profile. You got Paradigm Media News. You got Prison POV with Splinter. You got Vegas Prison Stories. You got Yard Recall with Buzz. You got, and it's just a lot. It's hard to just, like Jamie said, it's hard to keep up with everybody. It's just hard. It is what it is. It's just, it's just hard. And then you got some people that take it personal. It's like, dude, I work 12 hours a day. I work actually on the clock 10, 11 hours every day, and then another 3 hours to drive home. And that's not counting if I have to do any errands, run around before I go home, and then when you get home, you want to, either shower first or eat dinner. And then usually it's bedtime because the clock goes off at 3:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, before you know it, and then people tend to take that personal, and then if you had a wrench, they take your wrench, which I don't give a crap about a wrench. It's just petty stuff. You know what I mean? I mainly have prison playlists, a few others, but 95% is prison. Adam, I just watched your live. I left some comments. Yeah, I got to get with. I'm glad to see Adam's. I've been seeing Adam from Adam Talks Prison. If anybody knows, he's in Sydney, Australia. This is for anybody that watches later, because most everybody here knows who Adam is. But Adam wasn't feeling good for a while, but I've been seeing him being kind of active lately. So I had reached out to Adam and everybody else, putting it out there about doing something with them. So he's already said yes again earlier. So I'll get with Harvey and give tell Harvey to give you my number, or vice versa. Yeah, I want to touch on Australia because you're talking about a whole another country. And find out what they do over there in that country with the prisoner, or, convicts, prisoners, inmates, however you want to call it. There's a difference between inmates and convicts, though. When it's all said and done. Good show. Yep, thanks. Yeah, we got to do a part 2 with Harvey, though, because we didn't get to touch on. I want to talk a little bit more about the Wohls. That's like a historic prison there in Missouri. It's closed down now, but it's got like that Alcatraz type feeling, Alcatraz type look. He even did a video where he went back onto the grounds and to his old cell and recorded while he was standing in there. And then I also want to touch on him getting out and how he, transitioned and how it felt to come out to the real world, the free world, after 3 decades of being inside. So imagine that he went in at 17. So his adult teenage years are gone. All his 20s gone. All his 30s gone. Majority of his 40s. I think he came out at like 46, because I think Adam's 52 or 53 now. So he's been out 6 years. So he came out, he did all his 18, 19, all his 20s, all his 30s, 41, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and I think maybe 46, and maybe 47. Because like I said, he's either 52 or 53. You know what I mean? So that's, like I said, it probably felt like he was dropped off in outer space. And he says, yeah, I felt like I was dropped off in a foreign country. So just imagine that. I know when I did that 6 years when I came out, I was nervous. I seen some things like housing development that wasn't there before. It was just fields. Now it was still with homes. You know, just imagine all the technology with it, how big the computer was when he went in. You know, then we had laptops now, phones, how advanced the phones have become, the medication, the medicine, modern meds, just everything. You know, all the internet access, all the online stuff. You can order everything online, food, clothes, everything. You don't even have to make a phone call. Pay your bills online, everything. So definitely had to be a culture shock for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I wasn't aware of. I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they told me that actually yesterday that it was this family member of his that was bothering his brother. I didn't know that. So when he started telling the story today, he said it was his distant cousin. You know, probably I imagine he means third cousin, maybe second cousin, but not first cousin. You know what I mean? But that is, you know, when those type of stories, that's an occurring thing there. You know what I mean? It's usually somebody that can get close to you. You don't even know aware of it. You're not even expecting it, and that happens. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is a sad ordeal there, no doubt. I don't wish that on no kid. Period. I don't give a crap. You know, I don't wish that on no human being. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Yeah, I've had done a few videos lately and me laughing and chopping it up with the ATP family army, excuse me, gets my mind off shit. Yeah, that's right, Adam. Well, I'm glad to see you active and more active, and you know, hopefully you're feeling a lot better. I know that it comes and goes, the pain and stuff like that, but you know, until I figure it out, you know, as far as a professional or you know, a second opinion or anything like that. Hopefully, you know, in the meantime, you can feel hopefully as best as possible. You know, um, someone who does that to a child, yeah, that's how I feel. I don't give a crap if that person's 80, 85 years old and barely can move. You know, if you've done something like that to a child, they couldn't defend themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't have no sympathy for somebody like that. You know, I don't really don't like to get into it too much because they don't like that here on this platform. Uh, like I even made a video one time about R. Kelly after he was found guilty, and I kind of was saying something like, you know, depending on what who he ran with in Chicago, you know, maybe they can, you know, assist him while he's in there. Let's just say it like that, and if something happens to him, hey, he got it coming, and they didn't put the video through. I had to re-record the video and soften it up. You know what I mean? Thanks, Big Lou. I appreciate you, boy. Yeah, I appreciate you too, Adam. You always been stand up with me. Always been a cool cat. Always acknowledged me in the chat. Responded back to my comments. You know. But I've been on an hour and 37 minutes. Excuse me. And just before I did this, I was on another channel for almost an hour. And so I had bought something to eat, and I didn't even eat it because I didn't want to be rude on screen eating it. I'm not with that. I don't really like that. And then I didn't want to turn the camera off. I wanted to give my undivided attention to our guest, you know, Harvey. You know, that's just the way I am. But I appreciate everybody who stopped in. Um, yeah, my daughter abuser was released on October 21st on parole only, pool 5. Oh wow. Thanks. Searching for answers. West Virginia, Adams Stocks Prison, Jamie Rupert, Tashanka, Carlos, Wesley Mitchell, Big Weddle Duran, Sea Dog, Indu and Vito the Pit Bull, TX Royal Flowers, Jedi Mind Trick, uh, New Age Plug, Marky Mark, Michael Mormile, let's see, I Talk, IP Perez, I Talk Family, JMSJ, Tim Hennessy, Farmero. Thanks everybody for stopping in, and I also everybody that ends up coming over here watching the channel after watching the live after it's uploaded. Again, if it's the first time you're coming to the channel, it'd be highly appreciated if you like, subbed, and shared the channel, and feel free to comment. I respond back to all the comments. Oh, there's Frank's. Speaking of Frank's vibes, there he goes right there. I don't know. We got 11 people in here. I hate to shut it off right now. I don't know. Did anybody got a comment or anything? Not a comment, but anything they want to ask me or anybody want to come on? We'll keep it going. Shit. I set my notifications to let me know when you're live from now on. Okay, cool. Thank you. Searching for answers, West Virginia. Yeah, if anybody wants to come on, let me know. I'll drop the link. Or if you guys got any questions you want to ask me or anything. I just hate 11 people. We've been steady for like a while with 10, 11, 12, 9 people to just shut it down right now. You know what I mean? Even though I'm hungry right now, my food's cold, but oh well, it's all good, man. It doesn't matter. I'd rather have done, having this opportunity to bring Harvey on was cool. Again, I appreciate big shots out to Harvey. Go sub, like, and share his channel. I wasn't expecting he was gonna give me an hour and 5 minutes. I thought it was gonna be more like a half an hour, 35 minutes to maybe 45 minutes. So, and then too, his anything like I forgot who said it earlier, but we were interacting with each other. It wasn't so much of just a question and answering. It was, it was more interaction, bouncing off each other. And two, he gave a lot of in-depth answers. He did, within the interaction. It wasn't just like yes, no. Oh, I've seen this happen before. He engaged. You know what I mean? I spent a month, a year at my grandparents' time where they lived. He was in the Bible Belt on a farm. He went from a farm to a max. That's just like jumping in nice water. It's okay. Why don't you go eat? We all understand. Just riding in a car freaks you out. Everything moves too fast. Yeah. After that much time, you figure the only time you're in a vehicle when you're locked up is if you're being transported in the bus or van. Unless and with those type of charges, you won't be on a farm or a level 1 type of yard where you might be able to drive the truck. Things like that on the yard for your job. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's not short with his responses, which is cool. Yeah, exactly. It was his cousin to see who it was. His cousin to see who it was. It was his cousin to see who it was. You talking about Harvey's cousin or whose cousin? Or your great grandparent? I don't know whose cousin you're talking about. I would assume you're talking Harvey's cousin, right? Hey, Frank, you're still in here. There were some other pictures that I got that I didn't. I gotta crop them and all that. I don't know if you want me to send them to you or not. I want to make sure I asked you first. Man, it's getting cold too. I was saying yesterday on the live. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday on the live. It's getting like cold. Like normally, you go from that September weather into October, and it still be pretty warm in October sometimes, 75, 70 degrees. Now in November, man, it seems like it's like 40-degree nights, which ain't nothing outrageous, but when you're going from it being like 60, 65 to like 40, 42, you feel it. You know what I mean? Like earlier when Harvey was on, I don't know if you guys see me, but I kept going like this. I was doing it lower though. That's cold. It's cold. Yeah, send them. I'm working on it. Okay. All right. I'll crop them then after I get off here, and then I'll send them to you through the Instagram. But yeah, okay. Just right. Yeah. So yeah, everybody transitions differently, and then all that too. The transition program that because I don't know. That's what we'll get to too when we talk to Harvey. But here in Cali, if you're a lifer and then you were granted parole, you have to go to a transition house. You can't just I've only heard of it maybe once or twice where the person was let out straight to their family. Usually they got to go to a transition house because it's a big change. It's a culture shock. You know what I mean? Especially after doing that much time. I know personally a guy that did 45 years in the pen. I know another guy did 44 years. Another guy did 37 years. Another guy, a friend of mine, is in there now. He's been down 41 years straight since 1981. He's 66 now. He was 25 when he went in. Not even for a murder. He's still in there. Not even for attempted murder. It was a kidnap robbery. He's still in there. You know what I mean? So, you know, you figure by the time they let him out, he's going to have 42, 43 years in. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, it's getting cold. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. That way I can go inside and then eat. Yeah, I don't like to go live too much from the inside the house because my little ones like to get on, and there's some people out there that they'll take pictures of your kids and pictures off the wall, and if they're able to. And my little one's always trying to get into the camera shot and say hello. And it's none of you guys. It's those, you know, them trolls, man. There's some people that are just sick individuals. You know what I mean? That, you know, kids supposed to be off limits. You know, family members should be off limits, but yet they'll try to go after anybody just to try to get under your skin or whatever. I don't really know. I can't call it. It's getting cold here also. Yeah, it snows over there though, right? West Virginia. It was cool kicking it with you guys. Still looking for the leak, but I will find it. I was a roofer most of my life. Sometimes the leak will run down the rafter and drop on the bottom. Okay. My mom's ex-boyfriend is in prison for life. He murdered one of his best friends in '93. Yeah, great show. Thanks, Carlos. Gracias, bye. All right, people, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. It's getting cold. I got my jacket on. I'm still freezing. Yeah, I put this video. On my positive channels list. If that's not okay, let me know. I'll take it down. But somebody might see it and come over and watch. No, that's fine. Cause I'm not around negativity. No way in hell. The message is, you know, yeah, I did this. Yeah, I've been part of that. But don't go down that road I went down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you will learn to. You will mind somebody. You will be doing things you don't like. You will be doing things, especially if you're from where I'm from. And if you want to be part of an organization or a gang, you will be doing things you do not want to do. I guarantee you that. You know, simple way to put it is people will say that's an exit, not an entrance. Well, if you want to be messing around with this stuff, it's going to be an entrance. You know, and I'm not trying to be joking about it, funny. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Wesley, hope all you're doing okay. Good night, Big Lou. Thanks for the conversation. Yeah. Good night to you too. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Thanks for the comments, for the algorithm. That's what's up. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and tap on out. I can't take it. I got to get inside. It's cold. All right, everybody. I wish everybody a blessed, positive, and productive remainder of your evening, and also good payday. Tomorrow's payday. Everybody be safe. Know your awareness and live responsibly. I'm gone.